the model analysis is all about. You know how it is been it has been very much important in terms of model. Model is nothing but which is called as a product. So in this topic of product structure and then product building and then product analysis, we have to understand like how this has been implemented, how it is been analyzed, how it is been getting through into the problem solving method, how it is being visualized, how it is being achieved in terms of a good result, how it is being reviewed, how this can be taken into a further step to bring a strong solution so that your model will be very good. So in this term, in this regard, this model building and then model analysis will be taken into further towards the next step for having a very good model. I mean, I know in terms of a product. See here, model analysis, it is a one type of analysis where which is nothing but having a different set of problems, whatever which is being occurred in terms of product, and that will be solved. It will be visualized. It will bring you the new solution for the particular model. So that's why the model analysis has been very much important. Like I have given so many examples. So where this model analysis or model building which is being done in terms of virtual the product development, where I have told how it is been very important for virtual product development to convert that into a physical product. So in converting that physical product in terms of virtual product, so there is a certain steps like model building and the model analysis will be done due to different set of issues. So this involves examining the different product features, specification in terms of cost, in terms of availability of a product, in terms of quality, in terms of appearance, in terms of different aspects. Lot of things which is being taken care in terms of model analysis by its future, by its cost, by its availability, by its quality, by it is been the appearance. See, whenever it is coming to our mind about analysis, we are going to take in a different way that the analysis will be done in terms of a product. But the futures of the product will be in set of a different factors like cost, in terms of availability of the product, in terms of quality. Like whenever we are going to take all this cost, availability, quality, appearance, and all other aspects, so then we will be coming to know like how it is being reviewed, how it is being analyzed for the model to complete, to have the particular structure in terms of all these futures. Because whenever we doesn't examine the futures, or else in terms of cost, in terms of availability, or part in terms of quality, in terms of appearance, so there is a lot of things if at all we don't do that, so some other part who is called as a competitors, he will be riding towards the this particular area. So for that purpose, so this will be very much important to carry out. The purpose of this model analysis is to provide the manufacturer with the deliverable necessary to understand. See, here, what is the meaning of this model analysis? Provide particular manufacturers to deliver the necessary goods is all about. See, market ready product and market manufacturing product, market target product, market desired product. There is a certain set of the model analysis which is being having or taken care towards the market, towards the results, whatever which has been having in terms of model analysis. Designing the analytical process in terms of a problem solving approach, which have in terms of a quality interaction with the environment, so that this problem solving method will be analyzed, is being analyzed for the for the particular area, which can visualize the need of which can visualize the need, and then it has been the bringing the solution. So this is what which has been very much important. So designing a product is one part where which can carry out to the next step of model building, which can carry out to the next step of model analysis to realize the particular problem in a solving approach, to improve the particular product in terms of a quality of life, the end user interaction with the particular environment has been very much important to visualize the needs and bringing the quality solution in terms of model analysis. So this is where the model analysis has been important. So don't ever think that model analysis is only about the analysis of a particular product. It is been analysis of a different factors in a company, about futures, about specification, about cost, about availability, about quality, about appearance, and then the different other aspects which has been taken care by the buyers, which has been taken care by the managers to compete and review the third party competitors. So the evolution of the product, which there is two types of evolution of the product which can be done in terms of model evolution. Ensure the product follows relevant standards. So I know the standard has been very much important. Where this phenomenon is nothing but the suitability and safety of the consumers in terms of evaluation, where the standards, particular standards, where you have to maintain whenever you are going to design, whenever you want to manufacture anything. So that has been very much important, and to identify and remove manufacturing with the design, with the design effects. To identify and remove manufacturing or design effects. To identify and manufacturing is straight away which deals with to remove the manufacturing and design if at all there is something error which has been occurring, which has been possible in terms of evaluation. So that is what the meaning of this sentence. So methods of evaluation is been very very vast. So how it has been vast is nothing but where there is a three types of evaluation, which is called as, one is a goal based, and second one is a process based, and third one is outcome based. So in this three type of phenomenon, goal based, like we have a particular goal in terms of evaluation where that should reach particular objects in terms of achievement. Say whatever we people do, would we have a particular area, we have a particular goal in terms of certain objectives where that should be reached. If all that should be if all that is been not reached, it's in turn where which is nothing but where you people are not up to the mark, where you people are some extent where you are lagging with your evaluation, where your something is lagging with your product building and structures. So that's where goal-based evaluations has been very much important in terms of different objectives which has been taken care by the particular product. Process-based evaluation, which is nothing but, see, every product will be having a certain strength and weakness. See, always we tell that we have to take a strength of the particular product in terms of weakness. So where here what we can do it is, so where we take strength, and then where we take the weakness also, and then when we do the process, always we avoid or else we rectify whatever the weakness will exist in a particular product, and then adopt the strength of the particular product. Because 100% we can give the best product, but there is a something where which can be reviewed at particular percentage, where which is called as the defect of that. So that's why where we call it as a weakness. So that weakness should be rectified, and then that should be analyzed, and that should be carried out with the next process outcome. So which is nothing but where we call it as where we are getting the results after the process. Goal is nothing but, so initially we keep the goal, and then next after the goal we process the goal, and after the processing the goal, which is nothing but where we are getting the result, where which is called as an outcome of the result. So this is what step which is called which comes in a product lifecycle management. Because once you do something where you have certain set of goal, where you think that you will be getting 80% of percentage in the engineering, and then to work out that, where you have to work your strength and weakness, which is nothing but where you people start working out with your particular subjects. And then once that has been done, which is nothing but with the both from the goal plus your process. So later where whatever you're getting is nothing but outcome based. Which is it is nothing but where the results, whatever your people are getting in terms of goal, whatever you have kept, and then next the process, which is nothing but whatever you have written in terms of where you get the results. So this is which gives the results and profits in terms of goals and process back. So this can be a very much important in terms of evaluation of product building and structures. One is a goal based, and second one is the process based, and third one is outcome based, which has been very much important in terms of a particular area. So here in terms of product analysis, where you see the left diagram of product analysis, like analysis of product, like model analysis should be in terms of technical feasibility, critical feasibility, market feasibility, target feasibility, and then business model feasibility. See, analysis is nothing but which in terms is different sectors. In that different sectors where you people have to think about different set of feasibility of different factors. When this different factors is being taken care, then the product can be analyzed in a new and current trend. So here where you can see at the right side of your slide where the products are current and new. So here the current, so where in the current market penetration strategy, where you take the strategy and to develop that in a new forms. So market development strategy, which has been the current where, which is set of strategy to need the particular areas of your product development. So here next, which is a part of model analysis, which is called as advantages and limitations. Here in the advantages of model analysis, where you people can just check it out. So what has been the behavior? What has been the behavior of a system with the building? So here what happens? The study of the behavior, advantage of model analysis, which is the study of behavior of any system without building it. See, model analysis, like which have been discussed about different factors, about the cost, about the product specification, about different factors, how the advantages, which is nothing but the particularly the product will be seeing through only by its behavior, which can build into the beautiful model. So that's what, because whenever it behaviors very good in terms of its structures, then automatically you people get a good product building. So that's what the major advantage. So automatically the analysis will be done by the basically the behavior of by the system. Results are accurate in general compared to analytical model. So internal analytical model results will be very accurate in model analysis, because whatever you people are getting in the analytical model, so very good results can occur in terms of the output. Help to find out an unexpected phenomenon. Help to find out the unexpected phenomenon behavior of the system. Unexpected phenomenon where behavior of the system, even though you're getting an unexpected area, then automatically this will be compensated and you will be getting a good type of results. And that is what the one type of advantage in terms of model analysis. Easy to perform what if analysis. So what if analysis is nothing but easy to perform is nothing but, so whenever you do this, what happens? Whenever if this whenever what is nothing but where, which has been the different set of questions which has been asked whenever you people start doing analysis. Because we have a certain set of questions. If this happens, what will happen? If this we go, what will happen? If at all we are not doing this, what can happen? If at all we go with a different behavior, what can happen? It is nothing but, so all this analysis has been very much easy to perform in terms of model analysis. So next, which is nothing but the limitation. So every part of product will be having a certain set of limitations that is to be very much understood in in this regard. So where the limitations is all about very, very important part of this model analysis, which has been the very much limitation is nothing but it's only about the cost. So other than that, we people have a very good advantages in terms of model analysis, but only part of this is it has been very much expensive. Conducting simulation also very much expensive, and it is difficult to interpret with simulation results. Means once again, it is not all the time. Sometimes it will be very much difficult to interpret the results. So that has been the analysis of this model. And then the next part of this particular topic is all about, which is called as a production process planning. See, now once every modeling and then every analysis and then whatever which has been carried out in a particular area, and later which we are going to comes about the production process planning. See, production process planning is, there is a huge thing where you people have to remember in terms of manufacturing. Till now we have seen the very much importance of product development and product design, but how it has been important in terms of manufacturing also we have to take care. because there is not only once the design has been done automatically, it is not carried into manufacturing, because there is a lot of concepts, lot of areas where we people have to think about in terms of product process planning. Planning of manufacturing is being very much important to see to that the model is being completed in a very highest accuracy, highest precise way, so that whenever it goes into the other quality control, it should be not rejected. So in this regard, the production process planning will be taken care, very much important. So what is this basically? So let's see here. Production and process planning is planning involves in defining in some optimizing process structures and layout required in terms of efficiency. Existing product systems and process can be also optimized. Part of aim to increase efficiency. So this is what which I have been telling about. Process production process planning is being very much important to plan the defined area to carry out the process very properly by having certain structures and layouts, remember layouts in terms of different systems to optimize to increase this efficiency. So efficiency is nothing but in terms of accuracy, because whenever it is been done automatically manufacturing, whenever it is been done automatically, it is been gone into the quality control or inspection, where we see lot of always where we see the lot of product will be rejected, so get into rejected, so that particular area will always be avoided and then will be taken care. So here, where when this production planning will be taken care into a different criteria of that, it fixing that production goals and to estimate that into our different areas is been very much important to have the particular area of forecast and production process. Because see here, before going to the production process planning, the one thing which has been which is being considered is nothing but the forecasting in terms of production process. So forecasting the production process always will be taken care into different areas where the process planning will be proper done in terms of the efficiency, where you are getting out into a good model, because efficiency will always lead into quality. It is being reciprocal. Once the manufacturing is being done automatically, it goes into the which will be analyzed in terms of efficiency. Once the efficiency is being done automatically, you people are getting a good quality. So when it is been having a good quality, automatically rejection will be always very less. One, it is being less automatically when it is going to customer, you people are not getting the bad reviews in term regard. So that is where the production process planning has been important. Planning has been important. In next slide, you can see the different set of layouts, like how it is being activated, how it is being carried out. See here. So production planning process will always have a particular steps, which is nothing but the relevant trace. So PIR, planning independent requirement. So there will be a particular planning requirement, and then MPS and then MRP running. So different areas of MPS and MRP will be running out, and then production planning will be done at that time. So after doing all this, production planning will be done, and then once it is been done, you have to get the raw materials. So once you get the raw material, you have to see that the receipt is been done, and then the goods will be issued. So means it is nothing but you will be getting the product confirmation. Once you're getting the product confirmation, order close, and then it will be settled. Means everything will be settled. So this is one type of procurement, because production planning is it is not only in terms of manufacturing, it is nothing but procuring the product, planning the product, having the different set of layouts, and then later you people should get activated in terms of, means you people have to settle the different set of materials to get the manufacturing done. So that is what this relevant tree which has been saying, a production and then planning process. So once it is been done, automatically you people go to manufacturing. This is nothing but the scheduling of your raw material, procuring of a raw material for the manufacturing purpose. So planning independent requirement, MPS and MRP running, production planning, receive raw material, take the receipt of that, goods will be issued, product will be confirmed, and after the product will be confirmed, close the order and settle down, and then start your manufacturing of the work. So this is what the very important flow diagram of production planning process. So here, the same thing. So which has been widely, which has been, elaborated. So where you people can see like how this has been done. There is a lot of thing in in terms of production planning which has been taken care. Resource planning, labor and machines info, management of shifts and holidays, research and development, product development, order reporting, order reporting. So like in a previously which I have shown. So this like order reporting, order settlement, and then procuring the material, and then see to that it is being issued, and see to that order will be settled, see to that amount will be settled, and see to that you have your receipt, and then see to that your goods will be stored for your manufacturing. And after that you estimate with the material based material planning and all that, which has been straightaway related to production planning. Because see, now you people have to understand like whenever you start with the production planning, there is a lot of phenomenon, lot of categories to be taken care. Because I have shown, I have told you about whenever we started with the product design, there is a lot of importance in product design. And once the product design department will be done in terms of forecasting, in terms of all the decision, once it is been done automatically, when it comes to production department, lot of things which has been taken care in a production department to carry out the manufacturing with the proper and good efficiency. So that is what which is called as production process planning, which is production process planning. Production process planning, which is being very much important in terms of to carry out the model to get the highest efficiency. So that is what which is being used for production planning. See, there is a difference. There is a difference between production planning and control. So planning and control is very important. Once we planning and then later we have to see what has been the control. So meaning of this planning and control, goals are much important. What is the course of action that you have taken for planning and then control? Work, what are the different set of work which has been performed, like late you take, in facing, knurling, and cutting, like all that. You have to see what are the work should be performed, and then operations, see to that how which all the sequence of operations should be carried out, what are the resources which has been required, what are the directions which has been given, and calculate what has been the weakness of that. So when this is being conclude with the process of production planning and control is a continuous one, since control start where planning ends and planning start where control ends. So both are interrelated. When planning start, control ends. When control start, planning ends. So when one is started, other one will close. When other one starts, this will close. So this is what the basically relation between the planning and control in terms of production. So steps in the steps in the production planning process. So production planning process, make sure you have a requisite raw materials, labor, and equipment to complete your order. The production planning steps are, you can see different way. First you have to define your product recipes, demand forecasting. So prioritize your inventory, monitor and control, evaluation and adjustment. So this is what the different steps of production planning process. So once you have to remember, like a forecasting is being done by considering by different companies. Forecasting can be varied. Forecasting have a different steps. Forecasting will be done by taking the different factors of a company. It is not only done at a single way. According to the requirement of a company, the forecaster will change his ideas, and forecaster will change his involvement in doing the forecasting, like that only. So production planning process also, you'll be having a different set of process. It is according to a requirement, according to your material, according to your planning, according to how you people have to do it, the process planning will be carried out. So this is what one of the key structure. See, key structure. They see when I told the definition of production product process planning, I have told about a layout. Because to understand in a better way, there are a different set of production process planning layout which is being used, and one pentagon, square, all that will be indicated like what is the key factors. It is nothing but where you people can understand that in a better way. So here this start, and this is nothing but where you have to prepare your model, everything, and then this is nothing but where you process, and then this is nothing but where you decide yourself, decide what you people have to do, and this is nothing but where you delay, and this is arrow mark is nothing but the sequence. So this is what where you people like once this has been done, everything will understand you have to start. Once this has been done, once this diagram or is that this block diagram has been done as a pentagon, which is nothing but where you have to prepare the model. Once this has been done, it has been nothing but where the process has been started. And once this has been drawn, it is nothing but the decision is being made. So this is the key structure of a production planning process, which has been very much important to understand in a manual way, so that this is what the operation should be carried out sequence, what which is being done, so that your process planning will be very much simple. So how do you write a production plan? So the diagram above show the production planning and control, like whichever we have seen that where you have seen the different layout of that. So once it has been done, the different steps of different production plan. This is what the one steps: forecast the demand of your product, determine the potential option for production, choose the option for production that use the combination of resources more effectively, monitor and control. So today's the topic, the very important topic, which is called as a production, production data technology. So production data technology. So here where once the product process planning, where I have told about product process planning, like why it is important. So one thing you have to remember, very important part of product process planning, which is nothing but that is being done exactly to carry out the proper process, carry out the proper manufacturing method, carry out the different set of sequence operations in a proper way, carry out the different areas of the different areas in a production planning where that will be converted into and the good efficiency. So once that is been done, automatically we people will be getting the good efficiency in terms of production planning. So here production data technology is all about, so where remember production data technology is that is essential to completing day-to-day business tasks and process. Data must be readily available for frequent and efficient process of stored persistently, therefore often stored in the different storage that can be easily managed. See here what happens in a production data technology, where the numerous amount of data which has been required, because once the process planning has been done, automatically we should not see to that there is some data which has been missing. So before that, where we people have to think that everything the data whatever which is being carried out in terms of all the way, in terms of design, in terms of forecasting, in terms of planning, in terms of inspection, so all the data should have the particular area to perform that, where you can it is nothing but where you people can easily manage. So that's why. What is production technology? A system for scheduling the manufacture of products and managing stock inventory that aims to optimize the cost, minimum inventory, and maintains a steady workflow. The large word where you people can see a steady workflow. Steady workflow is nothing but where there will be nowhere this will be affected. Nowhere this will be affected, and this will carry out in a proper way, and that is called as the steady. It is called as steady workflow. Next, so key components of this production data, where you can see what all the main important of this production components is all about: input, conversion, process, and output. Whether the raw materials of data, machinable data, manual data, components of part, drawing data, instructions, and other paperwork. Because everything, all these are the key components in terms of product data technology, which has been very important to carry out the particular area of all that, which is called as a key component. So this is where which has been very much important. So testing nothing but which have the different database, where frequently should be tested the different data made to avoid the misuse of this of this data, and to control over the particular data, so that Data is also important, and the testing of data is also important. The storing of testing of data is also very much important in a particular area. See here, like how this is what the one diagram where you people can see like how the data collection for production control has been important. See here what happens where, so database will have the different set of area where a man will monitoring all the tools. So how this has been taken care. One database will be having the work demand, machine, work progress, and stock. See, all these will have the database, and then that database will have the planning tool. The database will be having the editing tool. That database will be having the monitoring tool. So this all the database will be splitted. All the database will be split into different areas in terms of planning control, production planning using rule based scheduling, optimizing technology, editing tool, what has been editing tool in terms of database, communication of production plan, planning system of editing tool, and then monitoring tool where he is going to monitor in terms of database of visualization of production status and feedback for production planning. So you people have to analyze like how it has been important having the database. So database having a different set of tools, planning tool, editing tool, and monitoring tool. So how we can plan in terms of different technology, how we can editing the different set of tools, how we can monitoring the tool. All this database will have only when you're going to collect in terms of different areas. How the forecaster will collect the different data. Here also a database will be having a different set of stock, different set of work progress, machine demand, and then work in progress. So all that will convert it into database, and that will be split into different set of tools. Three set of tools, remember, which will be carried out in terms of data analysis engine. One is a planning control, second one is editing control, and third one is a monitoring control. So this gives you the clear picture of the production data control. So here, in terms of production data, control, which I have been telling about, the simple way to understand the production data technology is information that is persistently stored and used by professionals to conduct business process. It must be accurate, documented, and managed on an ongoing basis to ensure its value to the organization. See here now you people can, rectify. You people can understand. It is the information based. It is an information stored by the different professionals to conduct the business process. See, it is conducting the business process is nothing but you have to understand this business process will have the different areas. This business process will be having all the contents. All the contents is nothing but it is being the information of everything from starting, from procurement, from the receipt, from the design, from the inventory control, from your bills, from your manufacturing, from your quality control, from your marketing, from your dealers. It's all, it is being used by exactly by the professionals, which is nothing but the data analysis providers, where they will analyze, they will give the proper information. It always should be an accurate documented towards the basis where is the value will be very important to produce the different set of areas in terms of production data control. So here what which is called as where you can see, you can see the smallest diagram in terms of three ways, or especially in terms of a sector, in terms of manufacturing companies, you sales, planning, and then production. So here it has been targeted with the particular areas of customer, manufacturing, plant, and then business office. So business office it is nothing but business office is nothing but always where you see demand planning and demand forecasting, and then master production schedule where they do the master production schedule, capacity planning, and all that. And when it comes to manufacturing, plant, which is nothing but where they manufacture, where they give a good quality, and then where they have schedule all the manufacturing, and then where they having the MRPs. And when it is coming to the customer, once everything is being done, the customer, which is nothing but where we call it as the marketing, or which is called it as a sales, where it is called as a customer order, market internship, logistics, and then quality. So all this will be dealing with the product data technology. See, very much important where you have to remember there is a two concepts which we have been discussed today. One is a product process planning and other one is a product data technology. Product process planning, it's nothing but which is been the process where which has been carried out in a manufacturing sector to having the good efficiency. And then product data technology, which is nothing but where which is being used by different set of professionals having the proper data to choose that into different sectors to get the accurate results. So that is what the two different criteria which have the product and then data technology. Thank you.